And welcome back to part 9 of What If the Uzumaki clan lived in a leaf. Last time, we left off basically with the finals of the tuning exam taking place. Now, there's a big difference here than in the original. There is no Orochimaru, and while the Saiyan might feel still a little underappreciated, a little disrespected, not as high standing, which is partly why I believe they partnered with Orochimaru to take down the leaf, they're not foolish enough to take on Minato or the Uzumaki clan. So really, it's just there's really no eventful issues here except we're going through an entire tournament. And last off, we left with Kirishima versus Sasuke. Now, like I said before, Kakashi, because Minato's alive and give him some guidance, is nowhere near as late as he normally is. So Sasuke actually gets there in time for his match. Sasuke and Kirishima face off. It's like, you ready to do this, Sasuke? It's like, whatever, Kirishima. Just don't get upset when I send you home to your clan crying. It's like, oh, is that right, huh? And okay, then let the match begin. And just Kirishima does a quick hand seal, and his entire body hardens. Basically, like I said before in the preliminaries, the way he works with seals, even though he's not as great with the super complex sealing types, is what he does is he has a bunch of seals on his body that basically transfer his earth chakra onto his skin, do like a clear crystal layer of skin. Basically, kind of what we get with the crystal release, but using his own natural earth chakra to convert it into something else. Anyway, so Kirishima comes in and just goes on the offensive. Sasuke, though, having been trained by Kakashi all this time, is definitely faster. So Kirishima can't really lay a hand on him. However, Kirishima isn't done yet, as he basically just because storage seals are nothing. Even for someone who isn't the best at seals, you're still an Uzumaki. You're still better than most people in the village at seals. So he suddenly releases a bunch of seals off of his body that he keeps on there. Just all of a sudden, a bunch of shuriken just come flying at Sasuke, who has to block it. And then all of a sudden, he hears Kirishima say, "Earth style." I'm just gonna make up a name right here. Boulder shoots her. It's like, Sasuke, what kind of name is? All of a sudden, he sees a giant ass boulder in his hand, like he just lifted. It's like, and basically, the simplistic nature of that technique is you grab the earth, fuse chakra into it, and you create a giant boulder. The more chakra you fuse into it, the bigger the boulder. So he basically just comes and slams a rock at Sasuke, who at this point just and finally just does all Chidori and just smashes through it. It's like, whoa, Chidori! And then Sasuke's banging on the, jumping on the boulders in the air, and then goes straight into hand-to-hand with Kirishima, which, in terms of hand-to-hand, is probably better, and he's got the Sharingan on his side, but he can't actually get through Kirishima's defense. So what he actually has to do is infuse lightning chakra into his kunai to actually get through to the defense. And luckily, because of the defense, the actual shell is taking as big a brunt of the damage as it is. It's basically kind of more like just jabbing him. So just, and there's a lot of back and forth. Ultimately, Sasuke, though, has to Sasuke eventually gets behind Kirishima, and all of a sudden he can hear the chirping birds again. And he's like, you lose, I win. And so Kirishima's like, damn it all, I surrender. The winner is Sasuke Uchiha. And, Kirishima's coming up, and he's healing, luckily, because of his Uzumaki, healing factor. But he's still bleeding, and Gaara can sense the blood. Like, the blood. And it's like, all right, no, because there's 5 matches, where Sasuke will be facing the winner of the second match, which evidently is Naruto versus Gaara. But before we get to that, a few words from our sponsors. Tired of impractical ninja scrolls? Try the new Uzumaki seal. Seal of approval ninja scroll. It can store food and weapons, and even a live person if you need it. But no. Before that, we have the Karin versus Hinata match. So this is kind of interesting here, because Hinata immediately can see her chakra thanks to her Byakugan. And her like hand-to-hand style is more dangerous than Karin's. Unfortunately, Karin's chakra chains means she can keep a good distance. Hinata, though, does have the protection of the 8 trigram 64 palms. So she also has her own long-range technique. The problem is Karin's is more versatile and more effective overall because it's a chain that you can grab things with versus a long string that you can basically just jettison out. So, and it's clear, being an Uzumaki, Karin would probably have more chakra naturally than Hinata. We don't really know. The thing is, we know only a couple of the clans that have naturally large chakra reserves. We know the Shenju do, we know the Uzumaki do, and probably even the Uchiha have larger than average chakra reserves. But we don't know about the Inuzuka, the Aburame, the Yamanaka, or the Hyuga. My guess, and this is all I have to go on, is a guess based on what we kind of see from in the world. Excuse me, in the series. The Naras and the Yamanakas do not have naturally large chakra reserves because of the type of jutsu they have. And we've seen Shikamaru run out of chakra pretty quick. Now, he might be an exception to the rule, but we've seen it. So I would go on a limb and say they don't have very large chakra reserves naturally. The Akamichi seem to have pretty large chakra. Maybe not Uzumaki or Senju level, but definitely some large chakra reserves. And this comes from the type of jutsu they use. They store chakra in the body, so they actually do have large chakra naturally. The Inuzuka, I feel like that's like and the Aburame probably don't have a large, or they probably maybe have an above average because their insects feed a lot on their chakra. But the Inuzuka, that's kind of a gray area. The Hyuga most likely don't have the largest reserves around, but because they have an actual Kekka Genkai, they probably have slightly above average. But because of the style of jutsu they use, it's more likely they stress on chakra control. And it's really just hard to figure out what their chakra reserves are like because of the way they fight. We saw 2 Hyuga fight, and because of the way they fight, they seal off chakra. So it's impossible really to know how large Hinata's reserves are. At least using that fight as an example. And Neji, we know, was pretty okay throughout most of his fight with Naruto, having used rotation, I think, at least twice. He wasn't really huffing and puffing until Naruto and him clashed. And even then, he still looked like he could go for a few more bouts. I would say that he could probably have above average as well, but not Uzumaki, Senju, Uchiha standard. Now that we did that PSA, Karin versus Hinata. The fight begins, and unlike the other two, Karin's fight with Neji, Karin saw what Hinata's capable of twice over. She is not taking Hinata for granted. Neither is Hinata, because this is an Uzumaki, this is Naruto's cousin, and she saw what Karin's capable of doing, using her chains quite effectively. So they're squaring off to kind of eyeing each other down. Ultimately, it's Hinata who probably makes the first move as she throws kunai at Karin, who uses just a chain to block it. Is that the best you can do? Do before Hinata can. But she says that is that the best you can do? Hey, Karin, or whatever the release command would be. As it's smoke bombs mostly, but concussive. There's some force behind those smoke bombs, so they blast off it, and Karin's like, damn it. Smoke bombs, I wasn't paying attention. And Karin quickly realizes, like, I can sense her, but she can see me. That's the thing. Karin's a very good sensor. We know that. But Hinata can actually see her. It's like, and all of a sudden, she's like, wait, she's there. No, she's there. What? Well, why am I sensing Hinata in multiple places? All of a sudden, there are multiple Hinata there. One of the things she stressed on, and that she learned very early on, but never couldn't do because of the lack of chakra, is to do the shadow clone jutsu. Now, she can't use it like Naruto can. Hell, except for the Uzumaki in this series, I doubt anyone will ever be able to use it like Naruto can. But she still can create up to like 3 clones and still be okay. And going beyond that, it's just good. Even though it's pushing her to a large degree, chakra control really helps here. So she could still do 3 clones and, come out and Karin's like, you almost had me there, Hinata, but all of a sudden she throws the chains out, baps the clones away, but all the clones disappear. It's like, wait, what? To which all of a sudden Hinata suddenly appears right underneath her, another trick she learns from Naruto, and just suddenly crap! It's like, how did I not? I thought I said something else, but I only saw 3 Hinatas. And all of a sudden, Hinata lands a couple strikes. Unfortunately, Hinata has been going basically balls to the wall and Karin from the beginning, so she's already tired as hell. Plus, she already had an earlier fight to begin with who did I put her up against? Shino. So she's already taxed. But she is able to land a good couple strikes in on her, and this causes the changes to falter a bit. It's like, God damn it! And to which, Karin finds like, water surge jutsu, surging torrent, I think it's called, the basic one. Basically the equivalent of the fireball jutsu for water. And it just lands, it hits Hinata. Fortunately, Hinata's like, thanks, Karin. That kind of woke me up a little bit. Of course, and to be fair, getting hit by water might actually be a little refreshing at the same time as being, completely wasted. To which Karin is even starting to hop a little bit too. It's like, I gotta admit, you've really been taking some notes from my cousin, haven't you? Naruto is a big inspiration to me. Oh, sorry, Mike. The cushion on my couch is a little off. Naruto's been a big inspiration in more ways than one. Of course, I'd pick up some things from him. And Karin's about to say, well, unfortunately, Naruto, I can still do things Naruto can't, like this, and all of a sudden the chains come out. Unfortunately for Karin, as they're about to get to Hinata, who's starting to waver a little bit, they kind of, one actually just doesn't work. And the other side kind of start to waver a little bit, which gives Hinata enough chance to kind of get out of the way and kind of jab at him away. It's like, damn it, she had more of my chakra points than I thought. It's like, this is over, Karin. Give up now. It's like, please, we might be both tired, but I'm in way better condition than you are. It's like, that might be so, but I've still got one last trick up my sleeve. And she gets into her form, and Karin's just like, it's like, crap. It's like, and she got, I don't want to use this, Karin. We're both tired. This could really mess you up. And she's huffing, but she's like, and she's just staring Karin down. You're smart, Karin. You know just how much stability your chains have left. Can they really take the full brunt of my attack? And she's just, and just she takes that deep breath, and then she just steadies herself. And Karin's like, and Karin's just like, and the chains finally, she's like, Raph, I give up. I can't take the risk. It's like, the winner is Hinata. He goes, I won, yeah. And she's about to get clapped, but Karin's like, yeah, you had me there. I couldn't take the chance. Like, yeah, I actually couldn't really use that jutsu. I'm pretty tuckered out. It's like, wait, what? And she's like, it's like, oh, you really have been learning a little too much from my cousin. Damn it. So I was like, you better get up there and rest. You're gonna have to be facing the winner of their match pretty soon. Of course, and then Karin actually looks and she gets more serious. Given what Naruto's about to go through, a gauntlet, so you may actually stand a pretty good chance. And to which Naruto, Uzumaki, and Gaara of the desert, please step forward. And Gaara at this point is like, and it's like, Gaara, and tell me. It's like, or I was about to say Sarutobi, who's probably sitting in the booth still with Minato. He's still like an advisor. Tell me. I actually don't remember Gaara's dad's name. But, tell me whatever. Tell me Lord Forth. I think, yeah, let's just call him Lord Forth. We've been hearing rumors. Is it true that your son, is he the container of the One Tails? And it's like, and what would have given you that idea, Sarutobi? We have, you're not the only one with the Jin, and to which Minato replies, you're not the only one with Jinchuriki in a village, and the Uzumaki clan knows seals and knows tail beasts pretty well. They dealt with them long enough in their history to recognize one. To which, the fourth is like, it's true, he is the container of the One Tails. Unfortunately, to which he explains a little bit of the background, but he also says, unfortunately, unlike the Uzumaki, we're at best competent with sealing, and a seal to keep a tail beast inside is no small feat. And unfortunately, Gaara's is not the best. We admit that, and I probably have not been the best to him as well. Of course, this is all fanfare in the sense of, would he honestly admit that right now? Probably not, but he says that to save face, but he's also not lying. He was not the best father. So Gaara's like, I've had enough of waiting. I'm ready for blood. It's like, really? It's like, Gaara, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. Oh, but I want to, Uzumaki. An opponent like you will truly make me feel alive. Is that you talking or the Shikaku? To which you guys like, so you know that I'm the genuine article, a real monster. And to which Naruto, obviously knowing his mother is the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki, is just like, Naruto's like, you're no monster. You're just a person who got put in a bad circumstance. Believe me, I know what you're going through. And it's like, which one do you hold? Not me, but someone I know, someone close to me. And I know and I know the stigma that can come with it. We were fortunate and we were able to avoid a lot of that, but you clearly weren't. I want to be able to help you, Gaara. Let me help you. Say, you want to help? Then just die! And summons, he sends the sand out. To which Naruto's like, it's like, sorry, Gaara, but I can't afford to let you go all out. All of a sudden, and anyone who has been paying attention and knows me well enough knows where I was going with this. Naruto makes a quick hand sign, and wind just wraps around his arm. Tornado Fist explosion! Boom! Just blast Gaara's sand away. I love the Tornado Fist explosion and putting it in Naruto. It's just a really cool technique in Yu Yu Hakusho alone, which my girlfriend just started watching with a friend of ours. Me and my friend are big Yu Yu Hakusho fans, and she's never. I say girlfriend's never watched it, so we're now introducing her to it. And I can't wait for her to get to the Dark Tournament arc. I can't wait for it. One of the best. Not just the best tournament arc, I think, ever in anime. I agree with my friend on that. Like, the closest ones you can get are maybe, like, the Chunin exams. Maybe some of the Dragon Ball tournaments. But no, just tournament arc on own, is the best tournament arc, I think, in any anime. And one of the best arcs in any anime period. Like, that's just a great freaking... Dark Tournament's awesome. Anyway, Tornado Fist explosion! And just blast... And even Gaara's like, I didn't expect such a technique. To which all of a sudden, he sees him. You won't get the wool over my eyes, Uzumaki! Making clones? Your clones won't do anything. And this is it. To which all of a sudden, they're just getting ready. They're doing things. This is it. This is it. This is what it means to truly be alive. And all of a sudden, Gaara's frozen in place. Why can't I move? It's like, paralysis seal. Extra strike just for you. But you can't. You may be able to stop my body, but not the embodiment of the desert. All of a sudden, they have to. All of a sudden, the sand's coming up, and it's like, this isn't going to be easy. To which, all of a sudden, Naruto just creating the tornado fish, just boom. You'll run out of chakra before you're hit. Because Gaara actually probably has more, thanks to the Shikaku, actually probably has more chakra than Naruto does. Because Naruto doesn't have a tail beast in this version. And so Naruto, despite having the large amount of chakra he does have as an Uzumaki, and naturally, still can only do so many of these before he's going to tire out. Granted, he's trained pretty well, chakra control stressed in the Uzumaki clan in this version, so he can still do this for quite a bit. But he's blowing the sand away, and even just kind of brings out the Rasengan. One point like, wait, did he? Yeah, he did. And all of a sudden, Naruto just throws I always like the idea that the Rasengan could get launched with the Tornado Fist and briefly turn into the wind style. And it does land, and Guard's like, I assume that that army of yours will take the bit of the brunt. Yes, make me feel alive, Uzumaki. This is not going to be easy. All right, guys, we're going to only have a few seconds on this. All right, go. Ready? Go. It's like, what are you doing? All of a sudden, Naruto is there. It's like, seal. And to which Naruto basically, now this is what I implied he learned with the Uzumaki head. Because here's the problem. It's one thing to to put a new, stronger seal on something. It is an entirely different thing to remove a seal and then put a better seal on while preventing a tail beast from escaping. That is a whole nother level of, oh dear Lord. And to which even the Force is like, what is he? No, he's not. Is Minot Namikaze? Lord Fourth is Fourth. Is he doing what I think he's doing? To which even Minot is like, what is he doing? Kushina, what is he doing? What is he doing? It would appear to which even Kisuke, Naruto knew he'd be going up against Shukaku, and as you said, your village isn't very well known for sealing, so I taught him a little trick to be able to help you guys out and put a bit more at ease. Unfortunately, there is the issue of removing the seal prior, to which Naruto says, I'm just going to make up a technique right here, right now, just for the name. I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to remove his seal. He's like, Uzumaki secret art. Seal crucifixion. Oh, that's not a good name, actually. Not crucifixion, but seal exorcism. That's a good name. I like that name. Seal exorcism, which would basically be, exercising something from the body. So seal exercising a seal, and then just and the seal's like, what is you? Mother, he's like, I'm finally free. To which Naruto said, no, and as the Shikaku's finally starting to emerge from the sand, like, no, you're not. Uzumaki art. I don't even know the name of the Uzumaki sealing technique. Hold on, because I know there is. I think that one actually does have a name. Hold on, Uzumaki clan sealing techniques. I think that the one that seals the tail beast has a name. 1 second. 8-trigram sealing style. Okay, 8-trigram sealing style, and then Naruto adds an extra name on there, and the Shikaku gets sealed back into Gaara. And he goes like, ugh, and Gaara's just completely like, what? But then Gaara's just kind of passes out. And it's like, Naruto's like, oh man. Is everything okay? Yep, everything's fine. And, Haite, who's been prepared, like, okay, he just goes in there. Is he all right? And yeah, he's alive. The winner is Naruto Uzumaki, and the crowd cheers like, what just happened? It seems that we were able to help improve Gaara's outlook a little bit, as Gaara's just now sleeping it off. So really now it's just Naruto Uzumaki will remain in the ring. His opponent will be Sasuke Uchiha. To which Naruto's like, oh, crud. Because Naruto's now tired. Like, he's not like, he can still go and still throw some techniques out, but he is tired now. And Sasuke, admittedly, isn't the best either. Because he still had to go up against Kirishima and throw out a Chidori, at least one Chidori. He only created the second. He didn't actually use it, so he still got chakra on his own. But Sasuke's probably in better condition than Naruto is. But we'll see how that fight turns out later. Until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.